We're going to start today's show off by showing some love to the MVP of the summer here at the Cleveland Browns Report. Ladies and gentlemen, before we even boarded today's flight, Has-Been dropped a $500 super chat. Has-Been. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Let's go! Has-Been the MVP, the undoubted king of the summer. I was sitting at my desk with my jaw on the floor as I saw the big red color. Oh, yeah. Jeremy's reading my mind. Has-Been unbelievable, but also so believable. For the type of performance Has-Been has been put up. Like, would it be unbelievable if Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with the Bucs? Not really.
No.
It's Tom Brady. That's Has-Been for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into today's show in just a moment, but I got to show some love to the number one viewer and supporter and super chatter all summer long. Has-Been, shout out to you, my man. Please, the capital P, a lot of E's at the end, get in touch with me. My email's in the chat. DM me on Twitter. We'll put my Twitter at the bottom here. I got to get you something. A $500 super chat at Chat Sports warrants the gong for Has-Been. We're coming from this side. Has-Been. Let's go, Has-Been. Unreal. That's a fair point to make. Our Steelers channel here at Chat Sports is currently live with the news that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Brandon Aiyuk officially requesting a trade from the San Francisco 49ers. Steelers fans think he's a Steeler, so they're live at the moment, and I'm sure Has-Been in the Browns over here watching are going to want to defeat the Steelers not only twice in the regular season, but also in the offseason with fun battles we do here at Chat Sports, like Super Chat Battle. So, shout out to Has-Been for keeping the gong in Studio F with us here. If they get a $500 super chat, they'll take it back. But who knows? Maybe we get into a fun game of tug of war with the Steelers Talk channel at Chat Sports. But Has-Been, one more time, and everyone watching, spam Has-Been in the chat. Let's go, Brownies, Has-Been. I don't know if you realize what you've done to all the viewers of this channel, but every time Jerry Jeudy touches the ball this year, in the back, maybe even middle of our minds, we're all thinking like, I know that guy. That's Has-Been right there. You can try and say you're not Jerry Jeudy, which, by the way, kudos to you for misspelling Jeudy. That way we kind of, fall off the scent a little bit, but I don't buy it. You're still Jerry Jeudy in my eyes.
He's Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, Has-Been. Hope you're looking forward to our Madden sim later on, by the way. It is Browns at Broncos Monday Night Football, baby. So I'm excited for it. Under the lights, indeed. All right, we've got some programming to get to on today's show. I want to know where everyone's watching from, so shout out your city for me in the chat. I see Cool Guy is in the chat here. We've got Gregory Stevens, Kathy, as always. Ty Man, did I offend you or upset you? Because you're usually proudfully always the first one in the chat. And I don't know if I've fallen down your power rankings. I'd be a little hurt, not going to lie, if that was the case. But I feel like your streak of being first or even at least second has fallen off a little bit. So let me know what I got to do to make things right with you, Ty Man, because you're always the number one commenter here at the channel. We've got Sacramento in the house here. John Brown's watching from Pennsylvania. Has-Beens in Dewey. We got York, Pennsylvania being represented by the King. Andrew F. is in North Ridgeville. John Brown spamming Judy. The King is in York, PA. So let me know where you're tuning in from. Has-Been the MVP of today's show, and I don't think anyone's going to challenge him for it. Watching from Dewey, Arizona. Cool Guy, by the way, win on that kicker extension. I like the kicker extension. The only thing about kicker extensions is that's a position where I feel like if you give them a lot of money or you draft them early, it gets a little bit mental at that point, and then they start to fall apart and crumble. It's almost that the best kickers are just ones you pluck from the UFL and pay them like $150,000. Like, for some reason, they don't let that pressure build up to them because they don't feel like they have to come through and overachieve because of where they were drafted or how much they're being paid. And I know there's no real like data or science to back that up, but that's kind of the deal with kickers. Like, there's not a lot of data or science to back it up. It's such a head case thing with them. And
no offense, you have one job: kick the ball.
Yeah.
Why are you getting so worked up? Oh, I get so much money and now I can't kick the ball?
Ty Parker's watching in Seattle, Washington. I got Fort Wayne, Indiana from Thomas White. Sterling Heights, Michigan from Derek Sparks. We got some new faces here. So John Brown, Derek Sparks, King Chavary Sedeno. Shout out to all of you guys for tuning in. Andrew F. as well in the chat. So with that being said, if you have any questions or takes you want to share, ask, or ideas, hashtag Browns in the chat, or you can super chat and you'll get a shout out and then some more like has been. We'll throw it on screen for everyone watching to see. So if you've got any question or take you want to share with the class, hashtag Browns in the chat. Producer Reed can kind of pick his favorite questions or topics and trades or ideas and takes. And then super chat, we guarantee it gets on screen. Now, before we get into today's show, here's what's on tap for today. The latest news and rumors surrounding the Browns. Training camp battles I want you guys to watch for, with training camp set to get underway a week from today, next Tuesday. And then finally, our Madden sim, which is Browns versus Broncos, Monday Night Football, Week 13. The Browns have won a couple in a row now. They are 6-4-1 in the Madden world. So a win here would really boost and give them some stability and comfortable playoff odds, we'll say, at a 7-4-1 record. All right, we've got cool guy called Zone, Hudson in the house, Ben Broski. What's up, Petey, here from Cleveland. Ben, and anyone else tuning in from Cleveland or the greater Cleveland area, we're going to have a meet and greet, and I'll tell you more about it in further detail in a few minutes. But mark your calendars, Thursday, August 1st at noon, which I know for everyone working, that's not the most ideal time, but maybe you do a little like a fake sick and dip out of work at lunch for a little bit. Maybe you work at, a Michael Scott type company where you can just go down and have like an hour and a half lunch break. So if you're able to join, that'd be fantastic. Just mark your calendars, Thursday, August 1st, 12 p.m. We'll give you the location and more details in a few minutes. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Blake asking, what do you think about our Super Bowl chances? The funny thing with Super Bowl odds is even the best team, like let's say you no doubt the Chiefs are the number one team, their odds are still 9% probably. That even feels high because you got 31 other teams, so you got to split that percentage up 31, 32 ways. What do I think about the Browns' Super Bowl chances? If they get really good play out of Deshaun Watson, I don't see any reason why they can't go on a run. I think we have seen some teams kind of pop out of nowhere from time to time. Why can't that be the Browns? Right? Why can't that be the Browns? Especially with, I'm sometimes victim to headlines dominating the path of the championships for sports. So we've had some new kings start to rise up in all four major sports. The Rangers kind of came out of nowhere and won the MLB World Series. The Florida Panthers, they didn't come out of nowhere, but did anyone think Florida would ever win a Stanley Cup championship? No. And now we got the Lightning and the Panthers kind of dominating that sport the last half decade or so. So why not a little bit of a changing of the guard in the National Football League with the Brownies going all the way to the top? All right, let's jump into our show today. We're talking Brandon Aiyuk. We're talking Amari Cooper. We're talking all sorts of topics. So hit that thumbs up button if you have not already. We're only at 20 likes. Help us get 25 likes. I know 5 of you watching have not liked the video yet, so make sure to do so. It really does help support and boost the channel. So if you like the content we do here, I just would ask that every time like the video, because it really does go a long way to promote and produce the channel and get more eyeballs on the Cleveland Browns report. Okay. All right, let's get into a live Cleveland Browns report. Are we ready to rumble, Mr. Reed? All right, let's do it. Here we go. I had a whole show planned out for today's episode, and then we got some real NFL news. And in the middle of July, I would not be doing my job if I did not bring up and discuss the Brandon Aiyuk news of the day, which is the 49ers star wide receiver has officially requested a trade from the Niners after failed contract extension talks, according to Mike Garafolo, ESPN's Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport. The whole gang has reported it at this point. Now, some context surrounding Aiyuk if you're not too well versed on the ongoing situation. He's entering his fifth-year option, the final year of his rookie deal, which is $14.1 million fully guaranteed. He's entering the prime of his career, only 26 years old, 2023 second-team All-Pro player last year, which I know what, no. You're All-Pro, first or second. I was about to even just knock it down a pedestal. No. He was an All-Pro, first or second-team All-Pro. I don't really care. In an offense that ranked 32nd in pass attempts. Think about how difficult that must be for a wide receiver to be deemed one of the best at his job, and they throw the ball the fewest of all the teams in the National Football League. Now, as for the Browns trading for Brandon Aiyuk, it seems unlikely, but we are talking about Andrew Berry. Now, there have not been any serious connections made or leaked reports or rumors about the Browns are absolutely interested in Brandon Aiyuk, but that was kind of the case for, say, Deshaun Watson in the early goings, and then the Browns emerged as a destination. So I wouldn't just cross them off the list because they haven't been mentioned yet. Plus, now maybe the Browns will start to have an interest because there is some real legs and traction to Aiyuk getting out of San Francisco, where as a few months ago, they may have felt like that's just a waste of our time. He's not going anywhere. But like I said, it is Andrew Berry at the end of the day. The guy is a trade addict. I mean, this entire wide receiver room has been built via trades. Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Jerry Jeudy. Would you put it past him to make one more trade for another wide receiver? Especially when that wide receiver is 26 years old, coming off an all-pro season where he put up over 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns, and by the way, from only 75 grabs, averaging nearly 18 yards a reception, putting together back-to-back 1,000-plus yard seasons. He had a bit of a slow start with the 49ers, but his version of a slow start is 748 yards and 10 touchdowns combined over the first 2 years. If that's the floor, yeah, that's not a bad player by any stretch. So what would a trade look like? I think the 49ers would want Amari Cooper back or in exchange for Brandon Aiyuk. So I think it would be Aiyuk to Cleveland for Cooper and a 2025 second-round draft pick. I don't think the Niners would be interested in moving on from Aiyuk, period. But if they get to that point of no return, they're going to want some star wide receiver back so they continue to be one of the most competitive, Super Bowl caliber teams in the NFC, which they were only a few minutes away from winning a Super Bowl last year. Now, Amari Cooper, I beg your pardon, Brandon Aiyuk, if he is dealt, and no matter where he ends up playing this year, I think he's going to be close to getting one of the biggest contracts in wide receiver history, which is kind of the norm at this rate because everyone continues to get one of the biggest contracts in NFL history. So with Aiyuk currently on a $14.1 million fully guaranteed fifth-year option, I think he's looking to crack the top 10. You look at his teammate Deebo Samuel, he's the 11th highest paid wide receiver in football, which could make this tough for the Niners because they already have Deebo Samuel on their books, and they've got guys like Bosa, the second highest paid non-quarterback in the league and in NFL history at the same time. So there's only so much to go around. There's only so much cap space, and you have so many mouths to feed. That could be something that factors into Aiyuk maybe getting traded, even if the Niners, which Adam Schefter has reported, have no interest in doing. I think you can expect to see an Aiyuk extension look something like this. 4 years, $130 million. That's an average of $32.5 million a season, which would make him the second highest paid receiver in football. I think he'd get a 4-year deal so that he can cash in one more time in free agency before he really gets beyond the age of 30. My prediction, though, at the end of the day is I think Aiyuk is going to stay a 49er. Just because a player requests a trade doesn't mean he is packing his bags and he is as good as gone. 2 just recent episodes of this revolving around players wanting out because of a contract situation and staying with the team after all. Jalen Johnson, the Chicago Bears cornerback. He requested a trade at the NFL trade deadline. Bears didn't trade him. Ultimately, they made him second highest paid corner, no, not even second, third, fourth highest paid cornerback in football. And then how about his own teammate in San Francisco, Deebo Samuel? He requested a trade last summer. Ultimately, the Niners and Samuel got a deal worked out, and everyone's happy. Maybe not the Niners, though, because he wasn't all that great last year for what they're paying him to be. Now, with all that being said, I want to get back to the original programming for today, what I intended to talk about before Brandon Aiyuk requested his trade, and I know everyone was going to want to know whether or not the Browns could be legit contenders to land him. So on tap for today's show, could we see an Amari Cooper contract extension come down next after Dustin Hopkins got that extension? And then ESPN dropped their linebacker rankings, so I want to see where they put Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. But a quick announcement I want to share with all of our beautiful viewers. We're going to do a Browns Report channel meet and greet Thursday, August 1st at 12 p.m. Eastern Time at Masthead Brewing Company in downtown Cleveland. So if you are in Cleveland, the greater Cleveland area, please come out and join. It'd be great just to meet some of you guys in person. To me, everyone is just a little bit of an avatar and a name in the chat. Like, I can't really put a face to it. So it'd be great to have some lunch, have some beers, and talk Brownies, talk football as training camp will be underway, and we'll be just a week or so away from the preseason kicking off. So come mark your calendars. If you're able to go, let me know in the comment section. Type me. That way I can start to get a good of a head count, get enough appetizers for everyone. So Thursday, August 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern at Masthead Brewing Company. I'll put all this information in the comments and description of today's video. Now let's talk about Dustin Hopkins. He agreed to a 3-year, $15.9 million contract extension Monday afternoon. It was awful timing by Andrew Berry as I was getting ready to go home and play NCAA, and instead I got 30 minutes taken away because he decided this would be a good time to extend our kicker. But Dustin Hopkins has been one of the most clutch kickers for the Browns in recent memory. Like last year, he was number 5 for 5 on game-tying or go-ahead or game-winning kicks. Like, he was an insanely clutch player for the Browns last year. He had a career high near 92% on all field goals. He was a perfect 8 for 8 from beyond 50 yards. I've got no real beef or qualms with giving Dustin Hopkins 3-year, $15.9 million extension. It makes him the 5th highest paid kicker in football, so it's not like he dramatically reset the market or anything, or it's some huge overpay from Cleveland. But there are some repercussions and some dominoes, like Amari Cooper. What does this mean for Amari Cooper? If I'm Amari Cooper, and even though Hopkins was great for the Browns last year, I'd be a little pissed off at the priority order for getting these extensions done. Like, you've got your kicker locked up before the star wide receiver who made Cleveland Browns history last year, going over 1,000 yards in back-to-back seasons for the first time in franchise history, setting a single-game receiving record against the Texans, being arguably the most reliable player on offense the last 2 years. Like, I would love for that award to go to Nick Chubb, but he missed all of 2023 for the most part. It can't be a single quarterback. It's been a rotation there. The offensive line's been banged up. Maybe David Njoku, but he's had some injuries over the last 2 years as well. Like, Cooper's been the only constant. So if I'm Amari Cooper and I'm seeing my team get the kicker done before me, I'd be a little pissed off. I would. Now, the good news is I don't think that fans should look at this extension for Hopkins and go, well, now they can't extend Amari Cooper. They extended D-Hop. No, it's not one or the other. Giving Dustin Hopkins $5 million a season and change over the next few years shouldn't dramatically take away from the pool that you were willing to spend on Amari Cooper. Like, I don't think it really came down to, we've got to extend one. We can't have them both, guys. Sorry. I highly doubt that. So I don't want anyone panicking that a Cooper extension cannot be reached now because all the money is gone. No. $5 million taken away for 2024 or 2025. It's going to be okay. The biggest concern I really have is whether or not this relationship is beyond repair if Cooper is truly hurt by the Browns signing and extending Hopkins before extending him. Like, that would be my bigger fear. You know, when you watch Hard Knocks or 30 for 30s, or you listen to like interviews, for example, like Baker Mayfield was just on part of my Take the Barstool Sports podcast. And he opened up a little bit about himself and everything that went down with the Browns and the trade to the Panthers. And Baker expressed a little bit of, I guess, I wouldn't say remorse, but maybe some regret or just a more candid response looking back at the whole situation. And I wonder if this is going to be something that in a few years we look back at and go, why did it go downhill? Like, oh yeah, they extended the kicker. And then Amari Cooper said, I'm done. Like, if you guys are purchasing the kicker over me, I'm not interested in even making a compromise on the contract. Here's my number. Take it or leave it. If you don't want to pay that, I'll be a free agent after this season, and I'll go sign somewhere else. I just hope that does not happen in this situation. Because Amari Cooper has been one of the best receivers in football the last couple of years. And while I don't think he's going to try and be one of the top 10 highest paid receivers in football, and you can look at the top 10 highest paid and see where Cooper may be shooting for, as he's currently ranking 20th in the NFL, my guess is he wants to jump from 20 to a little over DJ Moore's number, like come in at 21 to 22-ish $1 million a season, like maybe 22 and a half, maybe leapfrog Stephon Diggs a little bit, feel like he's closer in that territory. I mean, ultimately, I think Cooper is really seeking a 2-year extension, right? Try to get some guarantee for 2025 and 2026. Now, the original reports were the Browns were willing to give Cooper a pay raise for this year and maybe add on 1 year to his contract, but nothing more than that. So I'd be open to giving Amari Cooper a 2-year contract extension, total $42 million a season, average of $21 million overall, guarantee $30 million. Ultimately, I think we'll probably see Cooper get a 1-year extension if there is any extension at all. But I sure hope that this Dustin Hopkins extension doesn't dramatically fracture the relationship to the point of no repair and Cooper decides, I'll just play out this year, put together another awesome year, and I'll go sign for more money elsewhere. That's my fear at this moment. Now, for anyone saying don't extend Cooper, he's going to be 30, or he just turned 30 years old, and then next year he'll be 31 years old. Get out while you can now. I'm just going to remind you that 30 is not the dramatic fall off for wide receivers like it is for running backs. I mean, just 4 guys last year alone, 31 years or older, had over 1,000 yards. Keenan Allen arguably had one of the best seasons of his NFL career given the circumstances that were going on in LA last year. 108 grabs, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. If you're watching wide receiver on Netflix, how about Davante Adams? For all of the malarkey that the Raiders had to go through, he still had over 100 grabs, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins, we were told, was washed after the Cardinals. And with bad Ryan Tannehill and rookie Will Levis, he's get 75 grabs, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Or how about arguably the worst quarterback in football last year, Bryce Young, still getting old man Adam Thielen to 103 receptions, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. I just don't buy the fact that because he's 31, he has to be bad. No. We saw 4 guys last year put up really good numbers. And I also don't buy that he's about to fall off a cliff because Amari Cooper's maybe greatest strength is his availability. He has always been there. Go back to when he was drafted in 2015. He ranked 2nd in games played by all wide receivers with 140, only trailing Tyler Lockett. Amari Cooper has been available his entire career. He has been reliable his entire career. This is someone I'm willing to bet on. I wouldn't make this case for everyone else. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't do it for someone like Brandon Cooks, for example. But, sorry for Cooks for catching a stray. But for Cooper, I think that's a worthy investment. So, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If Amari Cooper is someone you'd like to see get extended to put a bow on this bad boy. I don't believe that there is no money available left after extending Dustin Hopkins. But I do fear that this could impact the relationship if Cooper is upset and offended that they went after the kicker before the wide receiver. Like, would anyone be blown away by that? So, with that all being said, I want your voice in the comment section. Should the Browns extend Amari Cooper? Give me a yes or give me a no down below. Now, I want to switch gears and talk about ESPN's linebacker rankings because they polled NFL execs, coaches, scouts, the whole 9 yards, and they had them rank all the different positions top 10, and they just released their off-ball linebacker rankings, which included Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So here are the off-ball linebacker rankings. Keep in mind, this is not a ranking from like Adam Schefter or Jeremy Fowler. These are coaches and GMs and scouts across the league. So coming in first, the 49ers' Fred Warner. Not a big surprise. He's not one, he's number 2. Roquan Smith from the Ravens comes in at 2. I'm not surprised by that either. Matt Milano, Patrick Queen, Nick Bolton. I think they're all fairly ranked in the top 5. And then you got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the Cleveland Browns' very own linebacker, clocking in at 6, ahead of the Bears' Tremaine Edmonds, which is funny because he wasn't even the best linebacker on his own team last year, yet Edmonds comes in at 7. Demario Davis, I think, is criminally underrated. You can make a good argument for him being as high as 4 or 5. Dre Greenlaw, I'm a big fan of. He comes in at 9. And then the tackle machine for the Jags, Foyesade Oluokun, he comes in at number 10. But when I saw JOK at 6, my initial reaction was a bit of a pleasant surprise. Like, not that he's not deserving of being 6, but I think fans, when they come across these articles, they kind of go into it with a bit of a premeditated anger of wherever they put my team, it's going to be criminally low. Like, I've already decided I'm ready to be offended. And when I saw JOK at 6, I was like, I'm not offended at all by this. Like, this seems like a really fair and accurate ranking, and if it's one side or the other, maybe even like a little bit higher than we probably all anticipated going into that. Now, here's what one NFC scout had to say on JOK. Tremendous athlete, runs like a corner, an NFC scout said of the 6'2", 221-pound linebacker. Finally found his stride and played with confidence. That last bit, I think, really jumped out to me. Finding his stride, playing with confidence. Like, look at the season JOK had in 2023 compared to the first 2 years. Now, it certainly helped that he played pretty much an entire season, but still, he was the only linebacker to have over 100 tackles and 20-plus tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, plenty of big plays being made, too, in the takeaway department, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. Like, JOK showed us more than just flashes the first 2 years, but it was the injuries that kept him off the field and restricted him from being where he could be as a linebacker. And then in 2023, we finally saw the version that we knew was in him the whole time, ever since the Browns got him in round 2 of 2021. Now, Jeremy Fowler also added this in the article. One AFC executive countered that Owusu-Koramoah's play is too inconsistent to be elite, and that he must tighten up in coverage. But an NFC exec said you can live with a few mistakes because the game-changing plays are so good. The coverage part jumped out to me because just sitting at my desk reading that, he never really screamed bad in coverage. So I looked at the stats, and you look at JOK's coverage stats compared to all other linebackers, he was targeted 45 times last year. That ranked actually coincidentally 45th. So he wasn't picked on a ton, which there's a couple of factors going into that. Like, is he really, really good in coverage and no one's open, so no one throws to his man? Or is he just not in a position where he's heavily targeted by the quarterback based on the way the Browns scheme up their defense? Gave up 35 completions. That ranked 36. Yards allowed, only gave up 250, 53rd. So some guys were targeted way more than others, and that's a product of the type of defense they run or just how bad they are in coverage. But his yards per target, tied for 51st. Yards per completion, tied for 56th. So just going off the numbers here, this does not seem like some guy that's a huge liability in coverage. Now, before we wrap up today's show, I do want to show some love to recent subscribers here at the channel. Big Sly, Cameron Kennedy, Tony Lopez, William Storm. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you want a shout out on a future episode of the Cleveland Browns Report, hit the sub button down below. Now, reading on more from this, an NFC exec wrote, many of us scouts loved his ability coming out of the 2021 draft, but we're concerned with his size. But he's overcome that, and he makes plays all over the field. You can live with the lack of instincts in some areas because he's a playmaker with a quick trigger to the ball. I mean, there's a lot of truth to what that NFC exec had to say. His PFF grades from last season, ranked 18th out of 82 qualifying linebackers with an overall grade of 75.3. Now, if there is a knock against JOK, it is probably the size, which restricts him from being healthy his entire career, picking up more bumps and bruises than your average linebacker, and also maybe not the most stout or best run stopper, truly meeting a guy in the middle of the hole and taking him backwards, goal line situations, stuff like that. But JOK's speed still allows him to fly into gaps and make tackles for loss and stops. Like, I don't want you guys to see that and think, oh, he's bad at run stopping. No, it's just probably not one of his best strengths when it comes to meeting a running back in the hole, in the gap, and making sure that he does not gain another yard. So if there is one thing you can nitpick, that could be it. But all around, I love this player, and I love him for the Browns, and I want to see him continue to be a Cleveland Brown for a long, long time. Now, if you had to pick one of the two players we talked about on today's show to extend, who would it be? Amari Cooper or JOK? I kind of hate myself for asking this question because I don't even like answering this question because it's so tough, because I want door number 3 to open up, which is just all the above. And I go back and forth, but man, JOK feels like a really special player that's going to be a good foundational piece of this defense for years to come. And this Browns franchise and team has been searching for a leader in the middle of the defense for a long time, like JOK. Now, before we get on out of here, if you want to get your hands on this Browns t-shirt combo, then go to chatsports.com/CLE combo. I put that link in the comments and description of today's video. It's 40% off, so it's a great way to get some new Browns gear in your closet without breaking the bank. So go to chatsports.com/CLE combo to get this Browns t-shirt combo where you get not one, but 2 shirts 40% off. I've taken up way too much of your time as it is, so let's pick a card and get you guys on your way. Mr. Reed, which card do you want to go with?
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades. I like that. I'll meet you downstairs. Give me King of Spades.
All right. Come on. Come on.
I think this has happened 2 straight videos now. Ace of Clubs.
Oh!
And I swear yesterday's video, whoever was producing said Ace of Spades, and it was Ace of Clubs.
No way.
It was either yesterday or the day before. So, tough break. Bad beat right there. Call SVP. All right, that will do it for us on today's episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. And if you've not liked the video, make sure to do so. And go Brownies. All right, pick one to extend. Amari Cooper or JOK? Cool guy. I'm not the only one remembering that yesterday this exact same thing happened. And you guys see me too. Like I shuffle, I also like to shuffle a lot before we start the video as we're getting ready to start the video. That way we get a good, clean deck in there.
By the way.
Yeah. And right after we started the video, Jeremy Stallman with a $50 super chat. Let's go, Jeremy. Good to see you in the chat, my friend. I like the air at 38,000 feet. Gotta go Browns. Let's go Brownies, Jeremy. Watching all the way from, I'm going to guess, somewhere above a flyover state. Can we play a game? Where is Jeremy Stallman flying to and from? Where do you think he's flying? Give me one of the 2 airports. I'm going to guess. You can't say Denver because that's where he's based out of, so that feels like a cheat code.
Let's see. Atlanta?
That's not a bad guess. I'll go with a Portland.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the West Coast.
All right.
Give me a long shot right there in Portland.
Is he still in here?
I hope so. He also sent in a $20 super chat. Here's to Has Been You Rock. Let's go Browns. Jeremy and Has Been. I mean, that is Jordan and Pippen right there.
It really is.
Yeah. It is Stallman, Has Been, 2024. You get the entire city of Cleveland voting for you, that's for sure. I'm not quite sure how well they'd poll elsewhere in the country. It might be a bit of a niche thing, but Stallman and Has Been taking over D.C. Drain the swamp. Let's go, Jeremy. Appreciate you for tuning in as always. Yeah. And Joshua Heisler, different Jeremy. Yeah, this Jeremy heard his name, came running. Can you start Justin Fields for next week's sim? I don't hate that. Should we bench Russ? Yeah, F it. Russ is benched. We'll start Justin Fields for next week's sim. Well, good thinking, Josh. I like this idea.
What happened to
Russell
Wilson?
I think Russ just had a groin injury. You know what I mean? He was limited all week in practice. And ultimately, Mike Tomlin came out with one of his mysterious press conferences where he gives us no real definitive answers. And all of a sudden, Justin Fields is starting.
All right.
So
I like it.
I like it too. Josh, I'm in as long as I remember. So don't let me forget. But we should be able to take care of that. Josh, thank you so much, dude, as always. Go Brownies, Josh. Go Brownies, Jeremy. And go Brownies, has been. All right. Should we jump into our next segment today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. Levi Mayfield is going to take JOK over Amari Cooper. You have to consider the age factor here. The thing that just really sways in Amari Cooper's way is how important wide receivers are in this modern age of football compared to off-ball linebackers. Like, why do you keep seeing wide receivers go early in the draft and linebackers don't? Like, just the positional value might be so high that it overcomes the age. That's what makes that question so tough to answer. Because you can make a legit pros and cons list and fill it up on both sides all the way down. Right? Extend JOK, pro, he was awesome last year. He's young. He's ascending. Con, he's played 3 years, and he's been on IR in 2 out of those 3 seasons. Like, those are legit concerns that teams are going to have before they pay someone. Because they're not interested in paying a guy who's going to be on the sideline. Like, those are things that really dominate a conversation when it comes to signing or extending a player. Okay. Are we ready to jump into today's episode? Okay, let's do it. We're going to get into some training camp battles for you guys watching. Here we go. Sorry about that, everyone. Oh, get something on screen. All right, just a moment, everyone. Sorry about that. All right, we'll just start. We don't need the intro video. No, because we don't need them in between the cuts during live. So, give us a moment. We're going to reset. This is the beauty of the live shows. You guys get to see how the sausage is made, as I like to speak, as I like to say. Okay. So, take 2. We'll start right from here. Put the name badge on. We're ready to roll. We got Scott Zappa in the chat. Jeremy Stallman. Let's go. Jeremy Stallman, we'll throw your super chat on screen. We'll get to that, and then we'll get into the show. You're making Reed sweat behind the computer. John Brown, has been. Let's go. Scott Zappa. Critical thing is, what will Cedric Tillman do? Scott, that's a great point. Like, if you move on from Amari Cooper, what's the confidence level in some of the younger guys filling that void? Can Cedric Tillman kind of be what the Browns are hoping he could be? You know what I mean? Can he be a number 2 wide receiver and soften the blow of no Amari Cooper if it gets to that point? So we're way ahead of ourselves, but that's got to be a part of the conversation too.
We were both wrong.
Dropping diamonds over Dallas en route into San Antonio. I like that. Enjoy San Antonio. Go to the Alamo. I've always wanted to go to the Alamo. I've never been to San Antonio. Heard the Riverwalk is a lot of fun. I spent this past weekend in Fredericksburg, Texas. It's like this little German town, settled and founded by a lot of Germans in the 1850s or so, and it's home to Admiral Chester Nimitz, who was the Allied leader of the Pacific Fleet during World War II. Incredible World War II museum, all about the Pacific Theater, and the entire area is covered in wineries and like breweries. So if you're ever looking to have a fun getaway weekend and you find yourself in Texas, Fredericksburg, Texas, I'm like the minister of their tourism department now. I loved it so much. I'm already planning a trip back for like Christmas time because the German Christmas markets are so famous and iconic. So that was my weekend, kind of in the neighborhood of San Antonio, but kind of in the middle of nowhere as well. All right, are we ready to get into some training camp battles? All right, sounds good. Let's do it. What's going on, everyone? Coming up on today's show, I want to run through the top 5 training camp battles for the Browns as training camp will get underway in just a few short days, depending on when you're watching this. Now, some background context on training camp. Rookies will report on July 22nd, with veterans reporting on July 23rd. Now, the Browns are going to start their training camp at the Greenbrier Resort for a second straight year. They enjoyed it so much last year, found it so beneficial that they're going back for a year 2. Not really clear how long they'll be at the Greenbrier Resort. I think it's going to be somewhere around a week-ish. Now, they're going to have 6 open practices to the public starting August 4th, going all the way until August 21st with dates in between, which, listen, 6 open practices to the public is very much on the low side. Like, there are teams who have more than double that number available, so not thrilled and super, happy with the Browns only limiting fans to 6 open practices because there's always such a great turnout and it's so exciting. And going to training camp's a great opportunity to, see a little bit of behind the scenes and get to know some of the smaller, lower players on the roster and depth chart and get some autographs and things like that. It's a blast. So I wish they were doing more than 6, but that's what they're doing this year. Now, before we get into our first training camp battle, I just want to remind everyone that we are doing a Browns Report meet and greet Thursday, August 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern in downtown Cleveland at Masthead Brewing Company. Now, I put all this information in the comments and description, but let me know if you're able to join. Type me in the comments section if you can be there. It's a great way for me to meet some of you, the longtime viewers, the commenters, the likers, the super chatters. So thank you to everyone who has been rocking and rolling with us for so long. And come hang out, get some beers, have some drinks, have some food. Thursday, August 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern at Masthead Brewing Company in Cleveland. All right, first training camp battle I want to put on your radar. Jerome Ford versus Deontay Foreman. A running back battle that I think could have some really big implications early on in the season, depending on when Nick Chubb returns from injury. Right now, you've got Ford and Foreman battling for that RB2 job, but if Nick Chubb were to miss the first few weeks of the season, now we're talking about battling for the starting running back gig for the first month or so of the upcoming season. Now, Ford comes off a up and down year. Like, I think when he initially took over from Nick Chubb, it was a little choppy, but that's to be expected. Then he started to settle in, and then him and Kareem Hunt in the ground game really came to a screeching halt for that, 3/4 way through the mark of the 2023 season. Now, meanwhile, Deontay Foreman last year with the Bears, he was constantly in and out of the lineup. He was a healthy scratch at times. He was injured at times. Altogether, he put up 425 yards, 4 touchdowns, and similar to Jerome Ford, right around 4 yards a carry. Now, the year before that, Deontay Foreman with the Carolina Panthers had the best year of his NFL career, 914 yards, averaging 4.5 yards a pop, 5 touchdowns. Keep in mind, he wasn't even signed to be the starter that season. He just kind of took that job over and ran with it, no pun intended. So, ultimately, I'm going to say Jerome Ford wins that RB2 job. That was sort of the chatter and direction during the spring practices. But a lot can change when the pads come on. Deontay Foreman's a bit of a bruising back. But right now, I'm leaning towards Jerome Ford as that RB2/RB1 until Chubb comes back. Next training camp battle to keep an eye on is Nathaniel Watson versus Devin Bush. We got a rookie linebacker going up against a now 5th-year linebacker from a former first-round pick by the Steelers out of Michigan. So looking at the linebacker room here, we know JOK and Jordan Hicks are beyond just penciled in. They are sharpied in as starters for this team, given how good JOK is and the contract Hicks got in free agency. Now, Devin Bush was also signed to a very cheap 1-year contract, and unfortunately for him, his career has not gone maybe as planned when the Steelers took him top 10 out of Michigan, where he was such a great playmaking linebacker, and that part of his game has kind of vanished. Meanwhile, Nathaniel Watson, he comes out of day 3 of the draft from Mississippi State, where he led the SEC in sacks last year with 10, 13 tackles for loss, back-to-back 100-plus tackle seasons. Now, it certainly helps when you play 6 years of college football, and in years 5 and 6, you're almost at 25 years old, and you're going up against 19-year-old running backs. You've got a pretty big, just genetic advantage over them because of how much more mature and advanced you are. So I think the reality that people need to accept as we bicker over who that third linebacker will be is we're probably only going to see 2 linebacker sets. The Browns have put a lot of investments in the safety department. They signed Juan Thornhill. They extended Grant Delpit. They re-signed Rodney McLeod. They take on 2 safeties last year who were either a UDFA or 1 year removed from being a UDFA onto their 53-man roster. All 5 of those guys started at times last year. Like, the Browns have made some serious investments and have some really good players and quality depth in their safety room. So with all that being said, I think we're going to see a lot of 3 safety looks, and that means only 2 linebackers on the field. Now, the one wrinkle that could change everything I just said is the new hip drop tackle. And no one knows what to expect out of this. But let me serve as a reminder. The NFL implemented a new rule along with the kickoff rule, which that's been getting much more talk than the hip drop tackle rule. But hip drop tackle has been banned. It's going to be very difficult for referees to officiate. It's surely going to lead to some catastrophes and some controversies and some game-altering flags being thrown in the fourth quarter. But basically, the old way of 190-pound DBs taking down 235, 240-pound tight ends by just sinking all their weight into the earth and holding on for dear life is over. So if teams start to get a lot of penalties because of that, the reaction might be, well, we got to take these DBs off the field or this extra DB and put a linebacker on there who's not going to cost us 15 yards because he won't have to hip drop someone because they weigh the same. Like, that's something that I don't think enough people are thinking about as teams gear up for their personnel and their base defense this upcoming season. How could the hip drop tackle change your plans if you keep getting 15-yard penalties because your corner in the flat cannot tackle a guy 40 pounds bigger than him without breaking the rule? Well, the result may be that corner's not being on the field anymore, and we're rolling back to 3 linebacker sets. Now, before we get into the next training camp battle with EA Sports dropping NCAA 2025, the next morning of the game, I got the pre-release, so Tuesday morning, I was up at 7 a.m. playing. Like, that's how quickly the addiction kicked back in for me. So what school are you starting off as? I started off in dynasty mode, and I went to my alma mater, Tennessee, which I know is kind of soft to kind of go right to the top of the mountain and not start at a Power 5 or a Group of 5 school. But I think for the first one, it's good to go back and pay some homage to where you went to school. And then next, I'll do Road to Glory. I'm going to probably start at Wyoming. I've always loved that as my Group of 5 school for NCAA or just random college football betting in the fall. So I'll probably go there. And then the coordinator route, I don't know. We'll see who wants me. All right, moving on to our third training camp battle. Cam Mitchell against just free agents in general. This is another battle that's not getting a whole lot of traction because, honestly, we're talking about the backup cornerback position. Like, that's how far this fan base and this team has come, where before they were legit battles for starting gigs. There's really no battle for a starting job up here except for the last one we're going to look at. But for now, that fourth cornerback is something to watch for because Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome have both had some legit serious injury history of missing time in their NFL careers. So the Browns better be 4 deep because chances are, history says Denzel Ward, Martin Emerson, and Greg Newsome will not play all 17 games together, which means Cam Mitchell, the now second-year man out of Northwestern, would be thrusted into a starting role if an injury were to pop up to the Warden or Newsome. Hopefully not, but as an Eagle Scout, I think it's a good idea to be prepared. So could Cam Mitchell be someone the Browns rely on? Or after a few days and weeks of training camp, are the Browns not impressed enough from Cam Mitchell where they decide, listen, I know that you're just a backup corner, but the reality is we anticipate that there will be a day in a game where you're going to have to start for us, and we don't think that you're ready for that. So we're going to turn to free agency, and we're going to sign a veteran corner that we're more confident in. Like, that's the battle Cam Mitchell is going up against. He needs to stop Andrew Berry from looking at the free agency pool for a more veteran player to back up those 3 starters. Fourth training camp battle to keep an eye on. Siaki versus Maurice Hurst. Another one that's not for a starting gig, but it might be for a roster spot in general. So Siaki, the 3rd-round pick last year out of Baylor, was basically non-existent his first year with the Browns. Didn't get to play until late in the season after Maurice Hurst got injured. And even then, didn't record a single stat, no tackles, nothing like that. Meanwhile, Maurice Hurst, he was a cheap free agent signing who went from the Niners to the Raiders. Like, he hopped around a little bit, battled some injuries, unfortunately. But with the Browns, he was such a jolt of energy in that locker room and on the field. 22 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, some pass breakups, an interception against the Seahawks, right? Like, Maurice Hurst kind of came out of nowhere and just kind of won this fan base's hearts over. So now it's up to Hurst to hold on to that, not starting role, but rotational role on this interior defensive line, where the Browns have made a lot of additions. Quentin Jefferson got a big contract in free agency. I don't think he's going anywhere. Mike Hall is a second-round pick. He's a lock to make the roster. Tomlinson and Shelby Harris, I think, are locks to make the roster. So actions speak louder than words. And all the actions the Browns have made so far at the interior defensive line position express not a lot of faith in second-year man Siaki. The Browns under Andrew Berry have never taken more than 5 defensive tackles. Right now they've got 6 with legitimate arguments to be made about how they should and will and could make the roster. So I'm left wondering what's going to happen. Is it going to be Maurice Hurst or Siaki getting the axe, or are they going to find a way to sneak both guys on there? I mean, a few weeks ago, I dropped a roster projection video, and you can see that I put 5 defensive tackles on the Browns roster. Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, Quentin Jefferson, Michael Hall, they're all locks to make the roster. The Browns only took 4 DTs last year. So what happens to Hurst and Ika? I ultimately think Siaki is the outside man here. Now, the thing that we always forget about is, unfortunately, injuries occur. Last year, the Browns had 3 roster spots open up due to injuries in training camp to guys who were presumptive 53-man roster locks. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'd be naive if we did not acknowledge that. So that could be the path for Ika to make this roster. But as things currently stand, I mean, those top 4 guys are locks. Taking 5 would be pushing it a little bit. But if they only take 5, it's between Hurst and Ika for that last spot. All right, before we look at that final training camp battle, make sure to subscribe for some training camp highlights. We'll be sharing them here on the channel. So make sure you hit the sub button down below so you don't miss a thing from Greenbrier or Berea. And we're also very close to reaching our goal of 35,000 subscribers, 100 subs away. So lock yourself in for the best free Browns content. 5th and final battle I want to talk about. Dawand Jones against Jack Conklin. This is anyone's guess a little bit. Like, I don't think anyone can say with a straight face what they know will happen for certainty at this battle. Like, I want to say Jack Conklin will be the starter, but he's a little bit further back in his rehab. We saw Dawand Jones practicing during the spring. It's hopeful that Jack Conklin will be available at the start of training camp, but there's a good chance he might start off on the PUP list, and maybe he joins midway through August or closer to the regular season, or maybe he even bleeds into the regular season a little bit because he's up there in the age column. His body's not going to recover as quickly as it once did to major injuries, and he's gone through some very severe and major injuries throughout his NFL career, from tearing his ACL with the Titans to that horrible knee injury he had with the Ravens 2 years ago to the injury he had against the Bengals in Week 1 this past season. So if Dawand Jones opens up the season as the starter, is the job just going to revert back to Jack Conklin once he's medically cleared? I'm not convinced about that. Why should I be? If Dawand Jones opens up the season as the starter and kicks ass, they're not just going to bench him. So this is a training camp battle to watch for. Like, if Jack Conklin, he's not just battling Dawand Jones, he's kind of battling time and health. Like, he's got to get back on the field as soon as possible to reestablish himself as their Week 1 right tackle. Because if he does not get back on the field soon, and Dawand Jones starts to run away with the job, I don't see a reason why the Browns would flip-flop their starting tackles into the season. Now, Jones last year filled in more than just admirably for Jack Conklin before he suffered a practice injury, ranking 48th out of 81 qualifying tackles, so right around the midway point as a rookie. It's not easy to do. Overall grade, 64.7. Obviously, a much more dominant pass blocker than run blocker, given his just praying mantis size of nearly 7 foot, 350-plus pounds. The guy's an absolute stone wall of a human being. So, Dawand Jones, keep an eye on him as someone that could not just get the starting job to open up camp, but hold on to it as well. So who do you think will be the starting right tackle? Dawand Jones or Jack Conklin? The Browns have themselves a really good problem, which is they have too many good tackles. And last year they learned how valuable the tackle position was because they lost all their tackles, and things went downhill after that. I'll add, don't rule out Jack Conklin so quickly. I know that the extension wasn't the most popular move amongst the fans, and the way Dawand Jones, an Ohio kid, was tossed into action and did so well filling in. He kind of stole the fans' hearts with his story a little bit and with his play that I think people have kind of put Jack Conklin in the rearview mirror a little bit, but I don't think this coaching staff has. Like, they look at Jack Conklin as an all-pro right tackle, and they're not messing around with Deshaun Watson's health this year. The last time we saw Jack Conklin play more than 30 snaps, 2022, ranked 45th out of 81 qualifying tackles, overall grade 66.7, pass blocking 78.8, run blocking 51.8. So a smidge higher than Dawand Jones last year, which that was only his first year. So there's reason to believe Dawand Jones can improve from year 1 to year 2. So just watch for Jack Conklin. I don't think he is dead in this training camp battle, even if he does miss some time out of the gates. As long as he's back, I think, before week 1 and doesn't give Dawand Jones that opportunity to start and never look back, it's going to be a fun race to watch for. All right, that will do it for us on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to pick a card, as always, as we've got producer Reed on the 1s and 2s today. Which card do you want to go with?
Let's see here. Let's go 8 of clubs.
8 of clubs?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go...
I was going to say ace of clubs, but...
3 of hearts.
And the winner is?
2 of clubs. 2 of clubs. I see Kathy put 2 of spades. That's tough. That's tough. All right. That will do it for us on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you all later. Make sure to subscribe for more content. We got Has-Been in the chat saying, bye, everyone. Has-Been, you're leaving right before the best part, the Madden game, where you get to see yourself, Jerry Jeudy, score some touchdowns. But Has-Been, if you can't say any longer, one more time. Everyone spam Has-Been for getting the Tuesday started with a $500 super bang. Let's go, Has-Been. I can't wait for Jerry Jeudy touchdowns this year because everyone's going to be chanting Has-Been. I just want there to be almost like the nickname the Splash Brothers kind of came to life with Steph and Clay, for Jeudy somehow to acquire the nickname Has-Been and for people to ask, how did that happen? Well, there's this YouTube channel and Has-Been was the summer MVP. And from there, it just took a life of its own. So Has-Been, shout out to you, man. Let's go, Brownies.
Do you think Jerry Jeudy watches Chat Sports?
The thing about players is I don't think I'm so big-headed where I think they watch my show. And I don't believe that. I don't think they do. Because I hear them say stuff like, I tune all that out. But then you also get the Hard Knocks, behind-the-scenes type stuff.
Yeah.
And there you see a more honest side of things at times. And you get a peek behind the curtain where players are looking stuff up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For example, I think it was Quarterback, the Netflix series. There was a clip of Kirk Cousins driving home after the game. He's in the car with his family. And I think he was listening to the sports games, the radio, sports talk radio on the drive home.
Yeah.
And it's so they do listen.
I mean,
they may not see everything, but man, if I were them and it's summer and you've got nothing but time on your hands kind of in between training before training camp starts and you see your name in a title, how could you not click on it and see what they're saying about you?
Yeah, I mean,
they're humans too.
If I were a professional athlete, I would want to know what people are talking about.
Yeah, I agree.
No matter if it makes me look like I'm
I think when you get to
or whatever.
I think when you get to Tom Brady's level, you're I don't need to know what a YouTube
care,
channel.
Yeah.
Maybe if he's headlining an ESPN article, he'll click on that.
But somebody
But I don't think Jerry Jeudy is at that level where he's I've got no curiosity when anyone is saying about me.
Well, what about somebody I don't know.
For example, if I was a rookie, I'd spend my whole first year reading what everyone says about me.
I was going to say,
this is your first time getting this much attention.
I feel like Bryce Young has to be looking at everything.
Yeah, I agree. We got some other super chats rolling in. Jeremy Stallman, what's going on, Jeremy?
This is fun.
If you all guess my 3 airports I land into tomorrow, I will drop a 100 into the chat. Okay.
All right.
So, let's think about this. I know Jeremy works for Southwest, so we can kind of prioritize Southwest-heavy airports. He is flying into San Antonio today. He probably has one more flight out tonight. I don't think he's done at about like 3 or 4 p.m. There'll probably be a 6 p.m. flight.
I want to go with
Now,
BWI.
He's based out of Denver. So my suspicion would be he would fly back to Denver and start his next day back at home.
Should we say Denver then?
So
Should
when he
that be one
says,
of them?
I land into tomorrow. So I don't think he's going to land.
He said all 3.
I know. I think he's going to start at Denver, and he'll do 3 from outside of Denver.
Okay.
So I'm guessing we could get
Arizona.
I like Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Denver to Phoenix is a popular.
Denver
one.
and Phoenix. Okay, that's
and
number
then I'm
1.
thinking Phoenix to Las Vegas.
Ooh, I
That's
like Las
a very
Vegas
popular
too.
one. And then from there, I'm going to keep it on the West Coast. It could be LA. That's a really short day though. Those are all short. Like we need more time built in here. I think we might get like a Las Vegas to Portland.
I like your Portland idea.
I think Portland's a pretty big Southwest hub because Seattle's very United gear.
Did we get it wrong, Jeremy?
So, okay, Jeremy said, nope, I am done. Oh, he's done in San Antonio. Okay, so he's flying out of San Antonio tomorrow.
Oh.
So that changes things a little bit.
Okay.
From San Antonio, you can go either way.
We retract all of our answers.
Okay. Let's say from San Antonio. I still like Phoenix a lot. I don't know why.
I like Phoenix.
Maybe it's Phoenix, San Antonio to Phoenix, Phoenix to Portland,
I like Portland.
Portland back home to Denver.
I like that.
Yeah.
All
I'm going to go with that one.
What do we got?
I like that one. Levi Mayfield with a $10 super chat. Let's go, Levi. Levi. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Shout out to you, Levi. Appreciate you, as always, hanging out with us. Levi.
I don't want to forget.
Will you be at the meet and greet?
Oh.
I got to know. Levi's been a long-time viewer of the channel, so I would love to see some of the long-time viewers, show up and get an opportunity to meet you guys face-to-face. Levi, as always, appreciate you rocking and rolling with us all year long. Let's go, Brownies.
I also don't want to forget, Jeremy did put this in there. He had
$10
super chats.
Can I get a shout-out? Cool guy called Zone. If his name is not on the board, please put him on. Yes. Let's make sure Cool Guy gets added because I don't think he is on the board. Okay, we're adding Cool Guy right now. Let me just get my Sharpie. And then what was the other one? Do you have another one?
And then we got Kathy.
Also, Kathy's a long-time viewer. Definitely well-earning. Or I think Kathy might be on this board.
Is Kathy on there?
Okay, I'm going to for sure add Cool Guy.
I don't see Kathy.
Jeremy said it's go-home day, so from San Antonio, what 3 airports will I land in? So you're saying that Denver would not count as one of them, Jeremy? If it's a go-home day, like 3 before you get back to Denver? Cool guy called.
Are you giving us 3 chances? Or are you saying...
John says Detroit. I don't hate that. Detroit's big delta, but at this point, Southwest, I kind of got to get over this mindset that Southwest isn't, not as big.
Kathy,
but like
you will be on the board.
Kathy's been added. She is not on the board. Okay, first, Cool Guy called Zone just got added right here.
Will be 1, so now what other...
No, Denver will be 1, so now, okay. So I think his day ends in Denver.
Okay.
I really like Phoenix. I think San Antonio to Phoenix.
Yep.
And then from Phoenix somewhere else back
Vegas?
to Denver. That just seems like a short day, though.
Yeah.
Like from Phoenix, that I don't think that fills up the whole.
All right.
I say short day. That's still probably like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So maybe Vegas.
Then maybe. I don't know why we're so stuck on Portland.
The other thing is, like, if he's going from San Antonio to Phoenix, he's going back 2 hours. Not that. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how. Yeah, it doesn't probably matter for. I don't think airlines care. You go back 2 hours if you still work 8 hours.
Oh, does Levi get on there?
Levi will get on there, although he might.
Levi, are you already on there?
I need to do a better job of spacing for Kathy's name. Oh, did he give the answers?
Yeah, he sent in a $5 super chat.
Okay. Well, I thought he might just to reveal.
I will be
All right.
landing
One second,
in
no.
Denver.
I want to put this on. I don't want any spoilers. And
I don't know if these are spoilers.
Well, I don't know. Okay. Kathy, you're right here next to Cool Guy. I will be landing in Denver. So there's one. What are the other two I will be landing in? So Denver's landing in Denver. So there's one. What are the other two?
So, like, he's going home. So, Jeremy, like, you're going home today. So the last one you'll go to is Denver. Correct? So you're going to two other airports today?
I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Levi, I don't think you're on here yet. So I'm adding Levi.
I like Phoenix, and then we just need
I like the Phoenix one a lot.
We need one more. LA.
I mean, I wonder. I'm just trying to think what would be an appropriate work day in terms of like hours. Because San Antonio to Phoenix,
I don't think they have appropriate work days.
I mean, I know it's not appropriate compared to the rest of the world, but like, can we narrow down the search if we know that it's probably only going to be like Levi Mayfield added right there. John, if you want to get on the board, if you're able to, a $10 super chat, and we'll throw you on. Let's stick with our answers. Jeremy, we're going with Phoenix.
I don't know about Portland.
That'd be too much traveling.
It might be too far, yeah.
All right, let's do Phoenix, Las Vegas, Denver.
Oh, what about LAX?
Can we take Southern California? No, that's cheating.
That's cheating.
I don't know if Southwest is an LAX airport or if it's like Orange County, like John Wayne.
How far Phoenix to Las Vegas flight is?
That's like a 60-minute flight. It's just straight north.
I kind of like
All
LAX.
right. We'll do San Antonio to Phoenix, Phoenix to LAX, LAX back to Denver. There it is.
What do we think? There's our answers.
That's it. That's our answers. They're locked in. They're locked in. All right, let's jump into our Madden stream. John Brown. Oh, that's actually a good time since you're here. Could you get another one of these? They're on my desk, please. They're underneath the napkins. Queen of Diamonds? Okay. They're in like a little, you'll see them. They're under the napkins, though. John Brown, we're adding you to the board. I just ran out of stickers, so I sent Jeremy to get me some more stickers. Love the board. Thanks, guys. Shout out to you, John. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof, as Jeremy. John, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much, dude. We'll add you to the board in just a moment. Jeremy Stallman with a $50 super chat. Let's go, John. Let's go, Browns. Let's go, Stallman. Close. It's Denver.
So we got
Denver
Phoenix.
to Phoenix, then back to Denver, but you got half of it right, so there you go. Get half the pot close. It's Denver, done, to Phoenix, then back to... Oh, he put it in there twice, I think. We got Phoenix. I'm pretty proud of that.
Wow.
Oh, hell yeah. What's the Steelers total at? Oh. They got a couple of starters on IR right now.
Yeah.
John Brown, adding you now. One of my favorite characters from American history in Harper's Ferry. Okay. John Brown.
John Brown.
You know what? Like, Jeremy, we got that right.
You
said three airports. When you're counting Denver twice, are you not? Like, I don't care about the other 50. I'm saying, like...
The fact that we
got the airport right.
The fact that we didn't get, like, we got, tricked.
If
so
you
I'll
had
take
said,
the 50.
Right. If you had said, like, it's two airports, our gut was right on Phoenix.
Yeah.
We sniffed out Phoenix right from the start.
I said...
I'll give you credit.
I said Arizona, and you were like, I like Phoenix, too.
Yep,
and I was like, yeah.
That one
it's
screamed
right
Phoenix, yes.
Yeah.
And it seems like a really popular, like, July, people going for the summer. I don't know if that's actually true, because it's kind of a bad time to go, but still.
That was...
proud of us.
Fist pound for
There
that
we go.
one.
All right, let's get into the Madden stream.
Yes.
We have captivated way too much of your time so far today. John, thank you for your super chat. And Jeremy Stallman, shout out to you, man. Jeremy Beedling, Jeremy Chugs, who works here at Chat Sports, he hopped in the studio just to give me another one of these little like stickers, and said that the Steelers channel, which is also live at the moment, they're live because of the Brandon Aiyuk trade rumors galore. We are demolishing them in super chats. It's 706. We'll round up 707 against 150. Like, shout out to Hasbin. Shout out to Jeremy Stallman. Shout out to John Brown. Shout out to Joshua, the $2 super chat. Everyone that's contributed. Levi Mayfield. Chipping away. It's a group project, baby.
What's the Browns report record of super chats?
Like in a single
live show.
In a single live show, it probably would be from a watch party, and maybe somewhere around 1.5K. Wow. I don't really remember off the top of my head. I can look back at, we kept like the record, not the records, like the analytics from last season. So I'll go back and look at that after today's show. Probably between, I don't think we ever got over 2,000. Like, I think it's in the ones for sure.
Now,
F-Pit indeed.
I will say, this game goes down to the wire.
Okay, say no more. Here we go. It's Monday Night Football, Browns at Broncos. John Brown with another $10 super chat. We can hit that after we start. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, push it across. You're right there.
I'm right here. Jeremy,
isn't it $11.50 because we were competing? What do you mean, Jeremy? Like $1,150? Is that the $11.50 you're referring to?
Oh, were you guys competing against people?
Are you saying like our record's $11.50? Because I think we've gotten more than $11.50 before. Maybe I'm overestimating myself. Maybe next time I'll properly estimate myself. But I think we've gotten over that number. John, let's go Browns. Let's go Brownies, John. Let's go Brownies indeed. I'll look back because I'm curious now. I can't remember for sure. Although I bet I could just find. Let me just do a quick search. It would be watch party. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Jeremy said with the Steelers channel, it was you guys were battling.
I can tell you, it's over 1150. I'm seeing 1700.
1700.
But that's not all super chats. It's just total.
Total, like including Venmos too.
Just like YouTube revenue.
Oh.
Okay. Now my brain hurts. So let's talk Madden. Let's do it. Welcome on into a Browns versus Broncos Madden simulation. Monday Night Football in Denver. In the Madden world, the Browns are 6-4-1, and the Broncos are 5-6. Now, before we get any further in today's episode, just use the other one. We are going to have a Browns Report meet and greet Thursday, August 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern. So if you're able to join, come hang out with us. It'll be at Masthead Brewing in downtown Cleveland. Mark your calendars. Set yourself a reminder so you don't forget. Thursday, August 1st, 12 p.m., Masthead Brewing. Be there. Now, the standings in the AFC North in the Madden world. The Browns are at the top. They're 6-4-1. The Ravens are 6-6. The Bengals are 5-5-1, and the Steelers are 5-6. So what's supposed to be a very tough division is tough. It's just kind of cannibalizing itself a little bit at the moment. So let's get into our Madden stream. But first, who you got? Browns or Broncos? Let me know in the comment section below as we get ready for kickoff from the Mile High Stadium, where Sean Payton and the Broncos are looking to put together another win in second in a row against the Browns from Denver, whereas Deshaun Watson and company are trying to continue their winning streak. So with that being said, let's turn it over to the Madden simulation, Browns versus Broncos from Denver. Here we go. Deshaun Watson and company, Nick Chubb, who's been really good this year. Amari Cooper, I'd say, has been good. Like, don't get me wrong, all three receivers have been solid for the Browns. Jerry Jeudy has kind of been the number one guy at times, though. That is the one thing I think worth adding. So, Browns versus Broncos as Denver gets set. Look at Bo Nix. Rookie quarterback. His first Monday Night Football game, I believe. Yeah. Browns versus Broncos. Here we go. Kevin Stefanski and company getting set to kick it off. Get your score predictions in. Who you got, Browns or Broncos? We got Sean Payton stalking the sidelines. Bo Nix getting ready to lead his team. It will be Denver to receive the ball, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I love how everyone in the chat, we're playing Denver, but F Pitt, F Baltimore, F Cincinnati.
There we go.
I love it. Zach Wilson is warming up.
Zach Wilson's warming up. We got Bo Nix going, Zach, give me the football. Enough of that. I don't know what you're trying to do here, but stop it. You're going to get yourself hurt. I do love how even in Madden they have the longest intro. So Corey Bojorquez and company getting set to kick it off here.
Every time I start the stream and then I leave because I'm not going to watch it. But every time I'm like, oh, they're walking out of the tunnel. It should be starting soon.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't.
And we are live from Empower Field at Mile High. The return gets across the 10, out to the 20, but no further than that. Good coverage by the Browns kickoff team as Bo Nix and the Broncos wearing, keep in mind, this is Madden 24, so they're wearing the old Broncos uniforms. Denver has new uniforms for this upcoming season. So Nix and company getting set from their own 20-yard line. They have 1st and 10 to start this game. We got a long play call. All right, now we're ready to roll. Bo Nix lining up under center from his own 20. Kind of a bunch formation. Takes the snap. It's a run up the middle, and Javonte Williams will pick up about 5 yards. 2nd and 5. You got Devin Bush making a stop here. Nix lining up. Takes the snap. Another run play to the right side. This one will go for 4. And we have 3rd and 1. Looks like Delpit was a part of the stop. So 3rd down. Span those threes. Let's go. Christopher Stofira with a $10 super chat. We can throw that on for you in just a moment, Chris. 3rd down, though. Get those threes in the chat. Let's go. 3rd and 1. Snap to Nix. He's going to pass. He's pressured. Down he goes. Myles Garrett sack. Bo Nix is sacked and will lead to a punt on the first series for the Broncos. John Brown with a $10 super chat. We also have Christopher Stofira. Brown's going to ride those ponies to the win. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Cheers to you. We'll add you to our MVP board for the $10 super chat. You could change the settings to wrap text. Yep. As the Broncos punted away. Return by the Browns will go nowhere. A fair catch made. And Deshaun Watson and company will march onto the field. Christopher, I don't think you're on our MVP board, but I'm going to check right now. I don't know for sure. Looks like my gut was correct. Oh, I got Cool Guy Called Zone added up twice now. Missed him the first time. So, my gut's not always good. He's deserving of getting second.
It was a shout out from Jeremy. So
yeah,
you can add an asterisk. All right, we got Deshaun Watson under center here. Chubb in the backfield. Looks like a counter to Chubb. He's going to get about 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 8.
Chris, adding you to the MVP board.
Got about 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
Kind of botched the stick. There it is.
That's a good.
Oh, this is not the best. Chris, I'll show you later, but I promise you're on it.
Deshaun Watson drops back, throws it. Who is that?
Jerry Jeudy has been hauling it in. So Judy's got a first down for the Browns in a revenge game, keep in mind. Jeudy, drafted by the Broncos, 15th overall in 2020. Spent 4 years, I beg your pardon, with Denver. First year in Cleveland. The Browns out across the 50. Snap to Watson. It's a run with Chubb and a gain of just 1. John Franklin Myers, who was acquired in a trade with the Jets, making the tackle. 2nd down and 9. Watson back in shotgun. Takes the snap. Watson throwing to his right. That is caught wide open. 1st down, Nick Chubb. Looks like a little bit of a wheel route with a broken coverage. Browns expose the Broncos, and it's a big 1st down for Cleveland. Chubb all by himself. Plays like that, I think Broncos country misses Justin Simmons. He's just so good. Can't believe he's unsigned. Although if you're watching this on Monday Night Football or right before it, maybe he is signed by now. Hopefully he should be. He's deserving of it. 1st down, Brownies. From the 25-yard line. Snap to Watson. Throw to the right. Caught. Gain of about 7 to 8 yards. David Njoku taking his man, John Franklin Myers, for a bit of a ride. He's injured on the play. Hopefully he's okay. I say it's a computer, Matthew. I kind of got caught up in the emotions if that's a real human being there is injured. 2nd and 2.
I love, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
His pixels will be all right.
Mm-hmm. Injury timeout. Early here in the game, but the Browns are threatening on the opening drive of their offense. From Denver's 17-yard line in the gun, Watson takes the snap. It's a run for Chubb off the left end. Has the 1st down and more. Chubb gets a block. Chubb spinning out of a tackle. Chubb to the 1. End zone touchdown. Nick Chubb. Beautiful run. 15-plus yards. And he caps it off with 6 points. So the Browns have an early lead in Denver. Sean Payton and company not happy with it. 6-0 Browns. Extra point from Dustin Hopkins is up, and it is good. So Bo Nix and company will try to respond. They trail 7-0. Show me those TDs. Yeah. 7-0 Browns over the Broncos. John Brown, Kathy Sidlecki in the chat. Time Lord's here. Good to see you, Time Lord. Christopher Stofira. Spam TD. 7-0 Browns. All right, while they get ready for the kickoff, if you want to get a Browns t-shirt combo, go to chatsports.com/CLE combo. I put that link in the comments and description of today's video. But up your Browns wardrobe with this Browns t-shirt combo set. All right, we are back. You can let the kickoff play during those. Nothing ever happens on these anyway.
Who knows? They could take it back.
I guarantee you. I don't think I've even seen them get to beyond the 30-yard line.
So, did you see the Raiders sim?
No.
Where it was, I think it was against the Broncos. They tied the game up with like 5 seconds left in the game. And they kicked it off to the Raiders. Yeah. And Dylan Lowry took it back. Wow. They were about to go to overtime, but he took the kickoff.
I got to find that. Jalen Spinda in the chat. 1st and 10. It's a run for Denver up the gut. I want a Browns t-shirt combo. Not quite sure just how serious you are about that, but if you'd like, we can make that your Christmas present. Matthew is addicted to NCAA 25. That is 110% factually correct, and I don't regret it. Snap to Nix on 2nd down. Another run and a good one, too. The Broncos out to the 40. That's Javonte Williams. Yes, it is indeed. 4th year back now out of UNC. 2nd-round pick. So Nix and company trying to formulate a response to a Nick Chubb touchdown with a little under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. From the gun. Snap. Nix. Throwing over the middle. Had a man. Just couldn't quite link up with him. Incomplete. A break for the Browns defense. 2nd down and 10. There we go. We got Kathy spamming defense. Kathy is like the loudest person in the chat every single week. Under center. Here's a snap to Nix. It's play fake. Bo will check it down. And good swarming defensive effort limits the gain to just a few yards. 3rd down. Spam those threes. Let's go. Jeremy Stallman typing his 3. Christopher's typing his. 3rd down. Here we go. Spam those threes. Snap to Nix. Looking. Has all the time in the world. And he's sacked. Down he goes. Zadarius Smith got home eventually. Nix holding onto the ball for a bit too long, which is just a little bit backwards for Bo Nix's playing style at Oregon. I don't think Bo Nix took a single sack his last year at Oregon. I think that was like one of the fun facts. No, he never fumbled. That's what I was thinking of. He never fumbled. Definitely sacked at some point. Yeah, I don't know why he's number 52, John. I don't know why. Oh, Peter, I'm sorry. Yeah. Fortunately, SJ did pass away. And no return on the punt. So Deshaun Watson and the Browns offense with a 7-0 lead are going to try and add on to it before the end of the first quarter. Ronnie Upchurch in the chat. Make sure to subscribe, by the way, if you're not already. We do these Madden watch parties every single week throughout the summer. So lock yourself in for the best version of the Cleveland Browns Madden watch party world by hitting that sub button. Watson on 1st down will throw to his right. Has been. That's Jerry Jeudy. Gain of 7.
Here we go. It's going to be the end of the first quarter.
So 25% of the way through the game, it's 7-0 Cleveland over the Broncos. So far, the story has probably been the Browns defense just suffocating this Broncos offense. I don't think Bo Nix and company have picked up a 1st down yet. Maybe they got 1, but not a whole lot more than that. From the 28, Watson will play fake. Unloading! It's caught, I think? No, incomplete. Patrick Surtain, who I think is the best cornerback in the National Football League, the nearest defender.
I think he just dropped it.
Was it dropped and be swatted a little bit by Pat Surtain?
We'd need a replay.
Yeah. Nevertheless, it brings up 3rd and 3 from the 28. Watson takes the snap. It's a run for Chubb. He's got to get past one tackler, and he can't. That's a good stop that time. Brandon Jones. I'm not quite sure who 24 is. But 2nd and 1. Levi Wallace? No. PJ Locke. He was number 6. Did he change numbers? I doubt it. I think Madden's just wrong. So, here we go. 4th and 1, and the Browns now send their punt team out for the first time today. Return out towards the 25, and just a little bit after that. So Bo Nix will have another chance to tie the game here after his defense makes a stop. 1st down and 10 for Sean Payton's offense. Monday Night Football. It's July 16th as we do this live show, and this feels like it's years away. Like a December Monday night game. I can't even wrap my head around this actually being a thing. But it's going to be here in a blink of an eye.
I keep thinking about it. It's just like, July is already halfway over.
1st and 10, play fake, Nix, plenty of time throwing. That's caught. Cortland Sutton gets Denver out to their own 45, and this Broncos offense has a bit of a pulse to it now. 1st down and 10, Nix having some difficulties early in this game, but now he's starting to get maybe into a rhythm. Up to Jim Schwartz's defense to stop that. Snap to Nix. He throws, caught on the slant. Gain of 6, finding Sutton on back-to-back plays. Jonathan Cooper on the sideline getting a breather. Knicks back in the gun. Across the 50 with that last completion. It's a run. Javonte Williams has a first down and more. Out to the Broncos or to the Browns 40. Check that. That's Jaleel McLaughlin. Browns fans might recognize the name. He was a stud at Youngstown State. He is the NCAA all-time leading rusher when you factor in FCS too. 1st and 10. Snap for Knicks. It's a run to the right side. First down and more inside the red zone. And the Broncos ground game is churning out yards. Javonte Williams all the way inside the 20.
We need to stop here.
Yeah.
Get those S's in the chat. We need to stop right now. Or get those stop signs in there. I like Kathy's stop signs.
The Browns' run defense in the Madden world was very bad. And then it got better. And now it's kind of rearing its old ugly head again. Knicks. Flushed out of the pocket. Throwing to the end zone. That's caught. Touchdown. Touchdown, Denver. Looks like Marvin Mims on the receiving end, playing the violin. Yes. So the Broncos on a touchdown pass from Bo Nix will level the score. The S's for stops did not work for Jim Schwartz this go-around. Marvin Mims going into year 2. Can't really see who was guarding him, but it's a good touchdown throw and a good touchdown catch. It'll be 7-all after that. We can do that later.
Okay.
We'll do a halftime. Okay. So, 7-7.
Man, that's tough. It just felt like
the ground game is what's killing the Browns at the moment. Like their inability to get a stop here is just setting up the Broncos with chance that last drive. Kickoff to restart the game.
Here we go.
This is not going to go well.
Oof.
It never does. It never does. It's never gone well.
Oh, if you look on the Raiders report, I made a short about him reacting to Dylan Laube running.
I'll have to watch that afterwards.
It was like, what the heck? How does that even happen? He just split through the defense.
1st and 10 for the Browns. We're all even at 7 apiece. Browns look like they had the upper hand earlier in the game, but now we're back to square one, 7-all. It will be the Browns football to begin the second half, though. Watson in the gun, back deep in his own territory. Throws to the right side, caught in the flat, and a gain of 7, finding the Chief, David Njoku. So 2nd down and 3. Alex Singleton, the green dot on this Denver defense, given the play call. Watson lines up under center. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, climbing, throwing, intercepted! Intercepted! Picked off over the middle of the field. There is a penalty. I think it's on the defense. I think it's pass interference defense. Yeah. Pass interference indeed. I think that's on Levi Wallace. So that will wipe away a first or takeaway by this Denver defense. And a first down for Cleveland. What a swing of emotions that last play brought us all. And a run to the right, gain of 8. Or a quick pass, I should say. 2nd and 2. Last year, the Broncos had a 5-game win streak, largely fueled by their takeaways. Then when the takeaways went away, so did the wins. Under center, Deshaun Watson takes the snap. Play fake. He'll throw it over the right. That's caught. First down and extra yardage. Jerry Jeudy, he is hungry. Revenge game for him against his former team. He's come to play today.
I think that's his 3rd or 4th catch.
3rd grab, I think, too. This one, a gain of over 20 yards, has the Browns in business. 1st and 10 from the Denver 41. Snap to Watson. He throws. This one is caught at the first down marker. And yet again, he finds Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy coming up with another solid grab as he is just powering this offensive drive. Everyone's spamming has-been. I love it. Get your has-beens in the chat. Empty set for Watson from the Denver 31. Takes the snap, looking to throw. Has a wide open man over the middle. 1st down and more. Inside the red zone, David Njoku. He was left all by himself, and he's so dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's one of the best yards after catch tight ends in the game. And we see why with that play. 1st and 10 from the 10. Snap to Deshaun. Has all the time. Finds Elijah Moore crossing the middle of the field. Gain of 6. It may as well be 2nd and goal. There's just an inch or two between the end zone and the first down marker. 2nd and 4.
We called a timeout, I guess.
Browns burned a timeout.
Because the clock stopped.
Yeah, how much time is left?
45 seconds
I lost
left.
complete track of time. I was Mike McCarthy for the last 2 minutes. I didn't realize we were in the middle of a 2-minute drill. 2nd and 4. Another pass play. Watson rolling to the right.
God.
Watson is going to go down for a sack.
I would let the clock
Nearly
run.
avoided it, but ultimately gets taken down. The Browns burn a timeout. This is just not good clock management. This will be the last play offensively. There should only be 2 plays left. This one and a field goal attempt if you don't get the touchdown. Don't give the Denver Broncos any time.
You got to bring that all the way down to like 10 seconds. Because it was the same exact time as the play clock.
Mm-hmm. 3rd and 8. Watson takes the snap.
Blitz.
Watson facing a blitz. He's going to tuck it and run. Watson!
Touchdown!
In! Watson, with his own 2 legs, finds the end zone. Touchdown, Browns. Watson's been good this year. If you guys are looking for a sign for what's to come for Deshaun Watson this year, and this is your sign, it's a good one. Watson escaping Baron Browning just enough to find the end zone. So with that, the Browns will double their lead, or I should say reestablish their lead. 14-7. It will be Cleveland's ball to begin the second half. Bo Nix and company will try to respond. Denver has all 3 timeouts remaining. Make sure to subscribe if you are not already. Sub for Dubs. Get yourself ready for this upcoming season by hitting that sub button down below. All right, here we go.
Takes forever.
Bojorquez kicks it away. And kneel down, and a smart one too, by the way.
I think that was the first kneel we had.
So 31 seconds remaining. All 3 timeouts. The Broncos can definitely get themselves into at least field goal range. I mean, for the Browns, I think there's a fine balance between not wanting to give up the big play, but also not wanting to let Denver squeak out a field goal before the end of the half. Play your defense. Garrett Bowles has the smallest hips of any left tackle I've ever seen. Like a size 30 pants. I don't buy that for a minute. First down, Knicks will dump it off over the middle. Gain of, wow, that's a horrible spot. They say 2nd and inches. I thought he got the first down by a good mile. Josh Reynolds not happy. I don't blame him. I'd be pissed too. Second and inches. Denver used their first timeout. Nix from his own 35. Takes the snap. Throwing. Right side. Caught. First down. This time Reynolds does get the first down. 31 seconds, I beg your pardon. So a little bit more time than I thought. Denver did use their second timeout, though. So for the Browns, you swap 2 timeouts for 10 yards. You make that deal every time. That's a good deal right there. Snap to Nix, 1st and 10. He'll throw down the left sideline, out of bounds, incomplete. Denzel Ward, the nearest man in coverage. Second down and 10. Nix in the gun. Takes the snap. Looking to pass. Has a man open. Sideline. Flag on the play, though. At the moment, it's a first down. But we've got, I think, a personal foul. Unnecessary roughness on Juan Thornhill. Late hit out of bounds, is my guess. And this is going to tack on 15 yards. So Denver now finds themselves very much in field goal range. They're at the Browns' 34-yard line. It would be a 51-yarder from right here. Nix throwing. Open man inside the red zone to the 12. Denver has 1 timeout remaining and only 4 seconds. So they didn't really manage the clock that well, I'd say, that last series. Not quite sure where all the time went. But that's Madden for you, baby.
I mean, they called the timeout with 36 seconds left when they could have brought it down to whatever time they wanted to on 3rd down.
So now Denver is forced to use the field goal unit. 1st and 10, kick is on the way, and it is good. So the Broncos do muster up a scoring drive to end the first half. 14-10. Oh, how does this happen? I hate how little time goes off on field goals. There should be an agreement in all of sports. If there's like less than 2 seconds before the end of the game or half and it's pointless, just coaches shake hands and we're done. I hate it especially in like basketball or hockey. Like the puck goes out of play or there's like an icing and you're down 3-0 and they're going to do a face-off with 1.1 seconds. Like, no. So the kickoff to restart the game. This is going to go nowhere. And it goes to the 24. So after, that better be the end of the half, right? Yeah. So after the first half, it's 14-10 Browns over the Broncos. While we get the halftime show, I do want to tell everyone yet again about our great deal over at Fanatics. It's a Browns t-shirt combo, 40% off at chatsports.com/CLE combo. I put this link in the comments and description of today's video. So go check it out right now if you want to get some new Browns gear, some new Browns shirts for the summer. Use this link because 40% off for 2 t-shirts, you're just not going to find a better deal than that. Plus, if you want to get ahead of some Christmas shopping, because these deals will definitely not be around in December, get this t-shirt combo. And now you got 2 gifts for people. Give 1 shirt to someone else, 1 shirt to the other person. Just saying. So get it today, chatsports.com/CLE combo. All right, we are back from intermission. It is 14-10 Browns over the Broncos. I've got Peter in the chat, John Brown in the chat, Time Lord. Kathy, can you remind me again how to pronounce your last name? I don't want to get it wrong. Kathy Sidlecki. Yep. And Reed is in the chat as the Browns Report channel. Kickoff to begin the second half will finally be kneeled down. So Deshaun Watson, with a 4-point lead, marches onto the field. Kathy, you can't. Oh, Sid Lecky. I thought you just retyped your name with the same spelling. That can't help. Kathy Sid Lecky. Thank you. Like Sid Luckman and what's the swimmer? Katie Ledecky. Yeah. 1st and 10. Throw. Strike. First down. Big gain. Who? Has been. It's Jerry Jeudy. 1st and 10. Jaquan McMillan in coverage. Big throw and catch from 4 to 3. I think we might see a lot of 4 + 3 = 7 this year. 1st and 10. Shout out to Hasbin.
That was so creative.
This is.
Hold on. Are you just going to go over 3 + 4 = 7?
That was intentional. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, but that was so sick.
I know. You can have some fun with those ones. 2nd and 3.
Zach Wilson doing a really good job of being a bench warmer.
I don't even know why Zach Wilson's the backup. I think it'll be Jarrett Stidham behind Bo Nix. All right, across the 50, Deshaun Watson in the gun, takes the snap. Watson throwing to the right side, dicey throw. I think he's lucky that's incomplete. 3rd and 3. So 3rd down, what do you want to do here? I don't think I've seen Nick Chubb touch the ball in a while. I'd like to see a Nick Chubb run here. Give it to 24, let him get you the 1st down. 3rd and 3 from the 46. Snap to Watson. It's a pass. It's a screen that's just going nowhere.
He threw it to actually nobody.
That was just a complete Nick Chubb looks a little scary in that picture, I'm not going to lie. They got to work on the eyes for these players. So Corey Bojorquez gets a big slap on the ass before he runs out to punt it away. Try and pin Denver deep in their own territory. And this one is into the end zone for a touchback. You just can't do that. Like, in that situation as a punter, you don't need to rely on strength. You're not trying to flip the field. You're trying to pin them deep. There's a little bit of finesse, a little bit of accuracy involved. You just cannot send it into the end zone for a touchback. At the very least, 15-yard line. Like, make them force a fair catch and accept, sure, not pinning them inside the 10, but back them up more than just the minimum of 20 yards. So Bo Nix and company with a chance to take the lead on 1st down. That was an awful idea. It's a quarterback keeper. It's an option play. I'm not really sure what it was. Myles Garrett doesn't care. He makes a big tackle for loss or a sack. I guess you'd call it that, yeah.
I think it was a tackle for loss. I think they went like an option play or something.
2nd down and long. Under center. It's a run. Williams unable to break that tackle. If he had broken that tackle, there was nothing but green grass in front of him, but Grant Delpit limiting the damage. And that'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Broncos. Their defense just made a stop. Can the offense reward their defense? We're going to find out. 3rd down. Snap to Nix. Play fake. Throwing over the middle. That's caught. 1st down, Denver. Cortland Sutton making a nice catch on the right side. And a big 1st down for this Broncos offense. Denzel Ward is looking around. I think this is just a really good play by everyone involved. Good throw and catch. 1st and 10. At the 46. Nix takes the snap. Throws. Awful throw. You know, that's just a rookie throw right there. Second down and 10. Halfway through the 3rd quarter. 1-score game still. Snap to Nix. Run. Javonte Williams. He is halted after a gain of 5. Third down and 5. Spam those threes. Spam those threes. Nix throwing over the middle, caught 1st down, Denver. Looks like Greg Dulcich, or Adam Trotman, I should say. He moves the sticks. Jameis is tired. He's getting a breather. From the Cleveland 35-yard line, here's the snap. Nix dropping back, climbing the pocket, throwing out of bounds. No one open. Wisely gets the ball away. 2nd and 10. Browns defense has been on the field a long time. Nix takes the snap. It's a run. Javonte Williams. Now the Jim Schwartz run defense is starting to close the gaps. Just a gain of 1 that time. 3rd and 9. Big 3rd down here. Can the Browns force a stop and maintain the lead?
It's 3rd down.
3rd and 9. Nix surveying. Nix throwing. Caught 1st down. Inside the red zone, it's the tight end, Adam Trotman. Went to Dayton University, playing against his hometown Cleveland Browns, hometown state.
Myles Garrett almost got to Bo Nix on that.
Yep.
One. Did you see him bulldoze that left tackle?
He took Garrett Bowles' lunch money, but couldn't quite get to the end goal. 1st and 10 from the 18. It's another play fake. Nix rolling to the right, scrambling, chucking it out of bounds, incomplete. Bo Nix being pretty smart with the football, I'd say. He's not forcing it. If it ain't there, he's throwing it out of bounds. He's living to see another down. 2nd and 10. Snap to Nix. Checking it down. Good rally defense by Cleveland, just picking up 3 yards that play. And yet again, the Broncos are faced with a 3rd down. Can the Browns get off the field this time? 3rd and 7. Here we go. Under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Nix, empty set. Takes the snap. Bo will throw. It is caught. Incomplete. He dropped it. I thought that was a 1st down for sure. Martin Emerson breaking it up that play. Jordan Hicks is getting praised for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but the field goal unit comes on for a relatively short kick, just 33 yards. Make it a 1-point game. Will Lutz is successful. It is 14-13.
We need Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
We need Nick Chubb.
You got the ball, you got the lead in the 4th quarter. Run the football.
Give it to Chubb. Like
this is textbook.
You had said this earlier. Like it's like
textbook. Run the football.
Like I don't know why they're not using their best player on their team.
Yeah, I agree. So the kickoff with a little bit of time left in the 3rd quarter before the start of the final quarter. Return across the 20. No, I tried to speak it into existence just to help Nyheim Hines out. Couldn't do that. Just disaster. So Watson, with under 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, will have 1st and 10. At his own 20-ish yard line. Ryan Chowdhury joined us in the chat. Good to see you, Ryan. In the gun. Run it with Chubb. And they do. And Nick Chubb stiff arms a tackle. Nick Chubb, I mean, you'll take 6 yards. That's a good outcome. Kill some clock. Pick up 6 yards. Dog pound Derek. Has anyone ever seen Jerry, Judy, and Has-Been in the same room for real? Also, when did Has-Been start coming here? Dog Pound Derek raising 2 good points here. The first one is a no. I have never seen the 2 in the same room. And when did Has-Been start coming around? Only like 4 weeks ago, I want to say. I don't even think he was here, or at least I can't say for sure because I'm sure there are a lot of people that view our videos and never comment. Maybe they're watching on TV, so it makes it tough to do that. As Judy uncorks one. No, Deshaun Watson finding Amari Cooper for the first time today. 1st down Browns. But Derek, yeah, I think about a month ago. Ryan, the stream was early today. We have a let me finish this play. First down from the 45. Run with Chubb up the middle, gain of 9. That's almost like a desired outcome. You gain 9 yards. You don't get the first down, so you can kill more clock without resetting the down and running out of field to run over. Yeah, Ryan, sorry. The live stream was moved up earlier today. I'm going to the All-Star game tonight. So I have to leave work at about 5:15-ish. So everything got bumped up a little bit earlier. Another run for Chubb and another first down for Chubb. First down, Cleveland with a 1-point lead, chewing up clock in the fourth quarter. Kathy, has been joined, at least in the chat, no more than 6 weeks ago. First and 10, Watson, quick throw, caught, just a gain of 1. A little over 4 minutes remaining in the game. A touchdown here for Cleveland would do more than just give them breathing room. A potential 2-point conversion could make it a two-score game and put this one away. Watson will hand it off to Chubb. He's not going to find a lot of real estate. Gains a yard, so 3rd and 8. I mean, we'll take some time off the clock, but the Broncos have plenty of time to make a comeback if they get the ball back with all 3 timeouts remaining. 3.5 minutes to go. From the Denver 40, Watson in the gun. 3rd and 8. He'll pass. Looking to throw. It's incomplete. Denver's defense does their job on 3rd and 8. And the Browns are going to be forced to punt.
Once again, Patrick
Surtain. And now the Broncos will have the opportunity to have the final say. With 3.5 minutes remaining and all 3 timeouts, the ball will be in Bo Nix's hands as Corey Bojorquez once again pushes it into the end zone for a touchback. Can't have that. As Bo Nix and company get set for what could be the final drive, make sure you get this Browns t-shirt combo at chatsports.com/CLE combo. I put that link in the comments and description of today's video. So get yourself the best Browns t-shirt combo today. 40% off. Chatsports.com/CLE combo. Here we go. Bo Nix and company with the football at their own 20-yard line. We'll just keep it full screen, I think, for the next 3.5 minutes. Get ourselves locked in. Here we go. 1st and 10. Bo Nix takes the snap. He's going to check it down, and no gain on the play for Javonte Williams. Some time will burn off the clock. I don't know about you guys, but times like this, you almost start trying to prepare for, well, we kind of want some time just in case they score for us to get the ball back. You know what I mean? It's a weird, yin and yang with the clock at this stage. 2nd and 10. Nix throwing down the left sideline. That's dropped.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. It would have been a big gain. Instead, it's 3rd and 10.
It's so interesting sometimes when you're like, do you let them score? But you don't. Obviously, you don't let them score because there's almost 3 minutes left. But I don't know.
3rd and 10.
It's always so weird.
Nix will look around, scrambling, shoveling it forward, incomplete. And now the Broncos are going to have to punt. I mean, they just simply cannot turn it over on downs here. They have 3 timeouts. Their defense has been good today. It's made a couple of stops. They got to trust their defense, I think. This is a punt situation.
Yeah.
With a 2-minute warning still, time's not too big of a factor.
It's a good punt.
The return across the 45.
Oh, I thought there was...
across the 40. So Deshaun Watson and company will have really good starting field position. They're not really interested in a score. I think they're interested in bleeding the clock off here. Get a first down or 2, and then this game is over.
The thing that you don't need here is a 3-and-out. A 3-and-out is the worst thing that could happen here.
I'll add on to that and say the thing you don't want to do here if you're Cleveland is let Denver save a timeout.
Yes.
I think you got to run it 3 straight times. Like, you got to force Denver to use their timeouts. They've got the 2-minute warning to lean on.
And they pass.
Watson will dump it off to Nick Chubb. He gets 3 yards. And I think that might take us to the 2-minute warning. If the Browns snap this before the 2-minute warning, someone in EA Sports needs to be fired.
Yeah.
2-minute warning. So 2-minute warning. Denver has all 3 timeouts remaining. It'll be 2nd and 7 from the Cleveland 36. First down does not necessarily end the game, but it'll make life a lot more difficult for the Broncos. They run it with Chubb. He's only going to get about 2 yards on that play. Gain of 2. Ryan Chowdhury with a $10 super chat. Let's go. Ryan, we'll throw that super chat on screen for you just a moment. First, 3rd and 5. All eyes on 3rd down here. Snap to Watson. He throws. It's dropped. It should have been picked, but it will save a timeout for the Broncos, and now Cleveland will punt. Denver will have all the time they need. They have 2 timeouts. While this punt is underway, Ryan Chowdhury with a $10 super chat. What's going on, Ryan? My favorite memory on this channel was one of the first times we got $1,000, and you, Seeps, and your girlfriend got a steak dinner. You are still making great videos, PD. Ryan, that warmed my heart up a little bit. That was a fun day. We went to Perry's Steakhouse. It was live in November of 2022. That was a fun day. Not going to lie. Ryan, I hope to have a lot more of those types of days in the fall. Appreciate you, Ryan, for bringing up this fun memory. That was a good one.
That's awesome.
That was a wild day. I remember that one. It was surely a show to remember. So, Ryan, cheers to you, buddy. Go Browns. As Knicks will check it down. Ryan, we're having a meet and greet, by the way. So, as a longtime viewer, I would love it if you could make it. It'll be Thursday, August 1st. We'll get a quick little PSA on screen for you in just a moment here. In downtown Cleveland. As we get ready for 2nd and 10. Snap to Knicks. He throws. This is going to be caught. Gain of 6. 3rd and 4.
Yeah.
There it is. It'll be at Masthead Brewing. Thursday, August 1. Oh, I forgot, Ryan, you were in Dayton. I knew that too. That was silly of me. That would be a bit of a hike. So, no issue if you can't come. 3rd and 4. Here we go. Span those 3s. Snap to Knicks. Bo on 3rd down. Throwing. Incomplete. And we'll have 4th and 4 now.
They have to go for it?
Oh, they got to go for it. Yep.
Yes?
They are. Oh, for sure. Mathematically, they cannot get the ball back. So, they're going to go for it.
Oh, boy.
4th and 4. Hold your breath. This is the game. Snap to Knicks. Rolling to his left and throwing that way. It's caught, 1st down. Finding Cortland Sutton for a fresh set of down. 1st and 10, Denver.
Wow.
1 timeout remaining. Clock's ticking. Remember, Denver only needs a field goal. No huddle. Broncos in the gun. Snap to Bo. He'll throw over the middle. That's caught, and that's a big gain for Denver. Gets him across the 50, and they're only about 10 or so yards away from Will Lutz's field goal range.
That was rough.
We'll get Josh's super chat after this game. Sorry, Josh. I don't mean to make you wait, but we got 40 seconds. Knicks looking around, rolling to his right, checking it down. Gain of just 1, 2nd and 9. Denver not using a timeout. They have 1 remaining. I don't think it's a bad decision, but they got to hurry to the line here. They're not in field goal range yet. 2nd and 9. 19 seconds and counting. Nix with time. Throwing. Crosser has a man. It's a first down. But he's not going to get out of bounds. No, that clock's going to tick. And Denver is going to call a timeout, I think, now with 5 seconds. They should have called it immediately. They could have gotten one more play off to the sideline. Oh, my God. I don't know if they want to go for a field goal or just a Hail Mary on this play. I don't think they have time for 2 plays anymore. It's a field goal. And the Browns call a timeout. I mean, it's going to be about a 48-yarder. So, very makeable for Will Lutz to win the game. 48-yarder is up. It's good. And Will Lutz will be carried off the field. 16-14 Broncos with 2 seconds left. Well, that's going to do it because you guys know there's no chance in hell Nyheim Hines is going to do anything on this kick return. Well, the Browns are going to suffer a close loss on the road on Monday Night Football. 16-14 will be the final against the Broncos. It'll get Denver back in the playoff race. Josh. Oh, no. That's the game. Wish we had tracked the stats for players throughout the Sims. You could do that next year. Also, will you do playoff Sims if the Browns make it? I wish we also tracked the stats. It's just a bit of an oversight on my end. So I'm sorry, because it would have been kind of fun to look at. You're right. If the Browns make the playoffs, then yeah, absolutely. The Sims will continue. So they are now 6-5-1. You know, very much alive in the playoff race. I mean, Josh, I'm almost like hesitant to offer to go back and just rewatch all the games and manually count the stats, but I can't do that. I don't have the time for that. If anyone watching wants to do that, though, you want to talk about some shout-outs you'll get? That's one right there. Josh, appreciate your super chat, dude. Thank you so much for watching. All right, we will wrap up the video, or the live show, I should say, by just reminding everyone of our meet and greet. I'm sure you're all getting a little sick and tired of hearing it, but just in case someone tuned in towards the end and missed the beginning of the live. Ronnie, what happened to the defense? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I do appreciate everyone who tunes into our live shows. Thank you guys, whether you like, comment, subscribe, or super chat. As long as you're doing something to support the channel, you're an MVP in my eyes. We will have a meet and greet for the channel. Ooh, excuse me, Chipotle. Browns Report meet and greet Thursday, August 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern Time at Masthead Brewing. It's in downtown Cleveland. So if you're able to come stop by for a drink or a bite, would love to meet everyone and anyone that's a viewer of the channel. So come hang out. Here are the details. Send it to a friend, a family member if they like the show as well. But that will do it for us on today's live show. A big shout out, a big shout out to Hasbin and Jeremy Stallman for really going above and beyond. Hasbin with a $500 super chat, I believe is a channel record. And I can say that with a lot of confidence. I don't recall anything bigger than 500.
And
so
we got the gong.
We got the gong out of it too, which means I get to carry that back. And it's not very light, so that's great. I am sorry for the earlier show. I'm going to the MLB All-Star Game, so had to leave work at about 5:15, so just couldn't do the usual show at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. All right, enjoy the rest of your Tuesdays. Enjoy playing NCAA after work today or school, and watch for me on the MLB All-Star Game if you happen to be watching that. But I don't know any psycho that watches an All-Star Game at any level from start to finish. Like, I've watched bits and pieces of All-Star Games for my entire life, but I really can't remember the last time I was like, I got to watch all 9 innings of this.
How many alcoholic beers are you going to have?
You know, I'm not even sure if I'll either have 0 or like 5. Like, I'm not going to go there to have a beer. Like,
no, if you go there and have a beer.
Has-been still here. Let's go.
Has-been.
Oh, okay, yes. I can fulfill that request, Has-been. That's very easy. Has been one more big shout out to you, man. Jerry Jeudy was awesome in that game. Defense at the end kind of crumbled. And the offense, ultimately, by the way, that's a really good example of both sides not holding up their end of the bargain. The offense needed to get a first down to put that game away, and the defense needed to make a stop. Like, both parties can be blamed. Has been, shout out to you, man. Go Browns, and I'll see everyone later.